Okay, my name is Fauzia Onjiro from Kenya. I worked as a domestic worker in Saudi Arabia, where I never knew that I was going to Saudi Arabia to work as a domestic worker. I knew I was going to Qatar to work as a receptionist. Then, when I reached Qatar, I was told, like, no, you still have another flight to Saudi Arabia. So I was very much confused on what to do. I can't connect back to my people because my SIM card when I arrived in Qatar, it didn't work. So I ended up going to Saudi Arabia. When I reached Saudi Arabia, I was still confused because I never knew what I was going to do in Saudi Arabia. So I had to wait for the people to come and pick me, to take me to know where I can work. So he came, a man and his wife, they came and took me from airport where they speak to me Arabic, which I never understood, but they were like, okay, this is what they're going to tell you. We're going to teach you water in Arabic. You have to say, if it's water, say it's water in Arabic. A spoon, you need to understand spoon in Arabic. So they tell me, when someone asks you for this, you'll know what to do. We reached home and they changed me. They say, we are not your bosses. We're going to take you to another house where you'll find your bosses who are there, who you'll be your bosses. Then I asked, why am I here? Because I was told, like, this is not my job. I was taken to another job. They said, no, you are coming to us and you are coming to work for us. Then I told them that I had about the contract I had. Then they said, this contract you have, it's very different with whatever we have and whatever we send to your country. So it was very difficult for me because even talking to them, it was a very big mess because they don't understand English. They only understand maybe 2 words in English. So they will tell you, like, no, wait, we'll get someone who will talk. So I kept waiting until the 3 months of probation ended. When it ended, that's when life changed because they felt like you don't need to do something else. You're here to work. You must finish your contract because if you left before the probation time, they will take you back. But now if you already finished the probation, they won't take you back. So that's when I started staying with them. And they were like, when they eat their food, they don't give it to you. They give you leftovers. Then I used to cry a lot and say, I wish I was in my country where I could get something small and something fresh. Not like whatever they are eating, then they give you leftovers. They kept the food in their fridge and they will take it like a week, 2 weeks, and they still request you to eat that food, of which for them they cannot eat. Then I went on the bad luck. I went the bad month. A good luck, it was Ramadan, where you're supposed to work. They don't sleep at all. So you'll work 18 hours non-stop. You don't have anything else to do. You just work. You only sleep for 4 hours. After those 4 hours, they come and wake you up. Now you're supposed to work. Then they'll exchange you within the family. They say, like, you work here in this house. You finish your job. Then go and help my daughter to do this. Then you're being taken to another house to work. By the time you're so tired, they don't think of you as a human being. They think you as a slave to them because you're not you're not in their culture. You don't know anything. They only favor you because you're a Muslim. They're fasting, you're praying the same way they are praying. Then they feel like it's odd. Maybe for their mentality, they think you're talking. Maybe you're saying to God, why are they doing things to me? Why are they doing things to me? So they feel like it's guilty for them. So they try and treat you a good, like, okay, now rest. Or maybe if you rest 30 minutes, when you eat, they can call you eating. Like, stop eating, do this for me for 5 minutes. Then already when you come to eat, you don't have that appetite. You find small kids, they abuse you a lot. The boys on the house, they know you're a slave to them. You don't have anything to say to them. You can't confront them. When you iron clothes, you iron the whole family clothes. You can take even 5 hours, 6 hours ironing clothes. You don't rest that much. Then you find others, they mistreat you. Like, okay, you find other men, they are telling you, like, you're beautiful, we know you're beautiful. No, can you do, if they ask for favors, which it's not allowed, because if you do that favor they want, you'll be jailed, or the woman in the house, she'll kill you, like other girls have been done. Most of girls, like 3 or 4 Kenyans were killed about that. They're having an affair with their bosses because you feel like, if I go back home, what will I go to do? I left my family. I came here to look for something good for them, to benefit them. But here I am. The boss is demanding for something maybe Then you feel, okay, he says, if you don't do it, I'll tell my wife you're doing this. So you feel so low, then you feel, okay, let me do it, because if he lies or if he says something else, they will believe him than they will believe me. So you end up doing things which you're not supposed to do. So after that, I stayed there. Then came a family member of them who used to talk to me English. He was better off. He studied outside their country. Then he requested me to go and look after their sick mother. So I used to take care of their mother each and every day, doing all the houseworks and checking after their mom. All those jobs you're still doing, and sleeping time is still the same. They don't do anything for you. I used to call home. Like, I went the contract 8 months, I wasn't paid. I never called home, so everyone in my family knew. There were cases like 3 of the ladies, Kenyan ladies, have died in Saudi Arabia. So everyone in my family was like, my mom was like, is that my daughter? So she doesn't have any communication. She never knew even the house I went to work, because the agency did never. So my mom used to go to that agency and say, where is my daughter? Where can I speak to my daughter? They'll tell, okay, next week come, we'll give you the contacts. Next week she'll go, and nothing at all. They will say, no, the boss is not around, you just come next week. Until the day I left their house, went to their brother's house where I used to work to look after their mother. They gave me a phone to call my mom. Then that time I called like everyone in my family. Everyone wasn't picking the call. So I cried a lot, like, why am I calling? Is it something wrong home? I don't understand what was happening. So I cried a lot, and then I called a neighbor. I used to have my neighbor's number. So I called. So my neighbor was the one who picked and say, I told him like, okay, go to my mom's place, tell her to call the number back, because I cannot call. I was just given a minute to call, and if no one is available, so they won't give me the call again to call someone else. So he went and called my mother. So my mother called me back, and he was like, how are you doing? Are you okay? Do you need to come back home? Can I do so many things for you to come back? Then I was like, I don't need to come back at this time, because I'm still focusing on my kid. What will I come home and tell my kid? At that time I was like, how can I tell my kid? What will I say? I went for work now. It's almost an year. I have nothing to offer to my daughter. So what will I do? Then my mom will be like, and will I able to communicate to you again? I said, I don't know. If they let me, I'll communicate to you. If they don't, just know I'm very much okay. And know that I'm a strong girl. I'll make it. And I used to pray and cry a lot. So after I finished my contract, I asked them, can you let me leave now? They said, no. You need to add up 1 year, then you can leave, so we can be able to get another maid to come and work for us. So I never left, because I promised my mom after 2 years I'll be back home, of which I never came back after those 2 years. So I had to add up another year, whereby I stayed. I was misused. They used to tell me so many things. I used to cry, but I don't have someone to cry to. Until one day I decided to leave their house and go outside. So I went on the streets. I found police. They asked me, do you speak Arabic? I said no, because I was very mad and crying. So I said, I don't know Arabic, but I can speak English. Then they said, okay, for us we don't know English, but we'll take you then, you'll go and explain. So I went to the police station, and I stayed there for 3 weeks. They called my boss, and my boss was like, don't let her leave. We still need her. Then I said, let me go. I need to see my family. I need to go. I'm tired of you guys. They said, no. The boss says, I'll start saying, I'll accuse you of stealing. I'll say this and this. You won't go back to your country. So you have to come back and work with us for 1 year, then we'll send you home. I said, no, I'll never leave. So in the police station came another police. I don't know, maybe he left. He was studying in US. Then he came and asked, what is the issue? Then for him, I felt like now I have someone to talk to, because he understands me more English, because the other one, they don't understand me. So I talked to him. I tell him my story, and he was like, okay, let me go. I'll go to your embassy and I'll look for someone who can help you to go back to your country. And that's what happened. He went and talked to someone, then someone from the embassy came and asked me, what do you want? I said, I want to go back home. Then he was like, what will you go home with? I said, even if I have nothing to go home with, maybe when I feel home, it will be best for me because I'll be seeing my daughter. I'll be having the small thing that my family has. And I won't be living the same life I'm living here today. Then he said, okay, we'll go and work on that. They went and took like 2 weeks. Then the same man came and asked me, they haven't done anything to you? I said, not yet. He went back to the embassy and asked, what are you planning for this girl? That's when he went asked for the embassy. Then the boss came again. So what have you decided? Are you going to come back? Are you going to do this? I said, no, I'm not going to come back to work. I need to go home. I need to see my daughter. I need to see my family. They promised, like, if you come back, we're going to pay you all your salary. We're going to do everything for you. I said, I've been there. You have never paid me. I always tell you, I've worked for that salary, but you're begging for your salary because they don't want to give it to you. So after that, they came and say, like, okay, that Arabian say, now you see, you'll go home. He said, I'll pay your fare. I'll do everything. So I was deported back to my country. When I came home, I never told anyone I was coming home. So I reached home without saying anything. I reached at the airport and I had nothing to take me even home. So I had to talk to someone, like, I need to go home from here and it's very far. Help me with some shillings. Maybe one day I'll come back and repay you. So he paid for me. I went home. I met everyone at home, but no one knew it was me. So everyone was crying, like, what did you go to do there? My mom was like, why did you go? I told my mom, like, this is the life. Maybe I've learned so many things when I was there. Maybe it's the chance to build me up. I don't know, but that's the opportunity. I believe everything happens for a reason. And maybe it was a reason for me to go and experience that life. So maybe later on I'll be a strong person. And that's when I started working with my community, where I'll talk to people. I'll talk to small girls, age of 15 to 17, the early pregnancies in the community. Then when I started working with the community, I went and joined the KYN. It's a Kamkunji Youth Empowerment Network, of which it's working on informal sector workers. Educating, creating awareness on them and capacity building trainings on them, how to access. After that, I met the partners of us, the Kudeha. They're working on domestic workers. Then they were like, okay, we are working on domestic workers. We are training them. I said, this is the best thing. I need to share my experience to those people who want to go, so they can know whatever they're going to do outside. I've been in so many activities and I'm being given that chance to talk to them. I even met some strange person, neighbor, called me like, okay, let me ask you one thing. Then I was like, ask. When I look at you, I see like you're someone who has left your country and goes somewhere outside. I said, yes. He said, I have a family member now who wants to go. He said he wants to go to Qatar and work in Qatar. I asked him, which job is going to take her there? Or which job is going to, she's going to do? She said she's being promised a lot. I told him I was promised a lot. I knew I was going for a better job. But when I reached there, it was something different. Then he begged me like, can you have a time? Then I can call her. Then you sit down and talk to her. I met her. I talked to her. I was like, what are you going to do? She said, I've been promised a job, a very nice job in a salon, where I'll be working for 150 Kenya money. I said, how much are you giving for commission? Because a job like this, you need a commission. She said, 150. I told her, my sister, that 150, try to do something. Take the money, start a job, start a simple job in your country, and be proud of who you are. Then she was like, I say, maybe they'll tell you that, but when you go outside, they'll give you something else. You'll think you're going there, then you'll be taken to a house. What are you going to do? If you want to go to work, outside the country. Start with your house. I tell her, start with your house. You know the small things you avoid doing in your house? That's what you're going to do there. You don't clean the handle door. You don't clean the ceiling. You don't do you don't care because it's your house. It's a very simple. But when you go there, they'll tell you clean the ceiling, clean the toilet with a toothbrush, clean the floor with a brush. You all do sort of things. Can you do that? Can you handle that? Then she asked me, so that's what I'm supposed to do? I said, yes, that's what you're going to do. But I'm requesting, it's not like I don't feel happy for you to go. If you want, you can go. But it's better going, knowing that someone else told you. So you won't regret anything like I did, because no one told me whatever I was going to get there. I was promised a better thing. Then I went there, all of a sudden it changed to something else. And I was in a very big mess. Then she said, how did you manage? I said, I've been through a lot. So I want someone who goes there, knows whatever she's going to do. Put your mentality, this is what I'm going to do. These are the challenges I'm going to get there. Am I ready for them? If you are, go. If you don't, just stay back at your home. I give an example. I had a friend. We went with her the same flight. Then she was too emotional. When she went there, she was treated. She had 5 kids. She went because they're like, okay, let me go and support my kids. The house she went, she was tortured a lot. She even had mental issues because she was stressed. Under stress, she came under depression. Then all of a sudden, she was like crazy. No one can handle her. After that, she was like, the bosses used to take video of her, how she's behaving, the craziness, doing everything there. Then she'll share on WhatsApp everywhere in the media so people will see how crazy she is. After that, we talked. Then someone from the country, she was taken to a hospital, their mental hospital. Then here in Kenya, her parents thought like she has neglected everything for them because no communication, nothing else they know. They don't know where she is. Now when I came and told them like, your daughter, she's in a mental hospital. Go to the embassy, do the process and ask and request. That's what they did. And later on, their daughter was sent mentally sick. But when she came to Kenya, I think because the love she get from the people she left home, now she's very much okay. Yeah.